A very good morning to all of you. You're watching Breakfast News. My name is Aditi Nagpal Girotra. Let's get the news rolling with the headlines first. Budget session to start on January 31st with President address to joint sitting of Parliament. Union budget to be presented on 1st of February. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla to inaugurate 7th Conference of Commonwealth Parliamentary Association India region in Lucknow today. Presiding officers of legislative bodies including Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman Harivansh to take part. Role of public representatives to be key focus. No documents or biometric. Government clarifies NPR on self-declaration basis to be carried out between April and September. Pakistan's attempt to raise Kashmir yet again at UN Security Council fails. Members insist matter not worth discussing should be resolved bilaterally. US House of Representatives passes resolution, sends articles of impeachment against President Trump to Senate for trial. The budget session of Parliament will begin on 31st January and will continue till 3rd of April. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will present the Union budget on 1st of February. The first phase of the budget session will extend from 31st Jan to 11th Feb, and the second one will be from 2nd March to 3rd April. The session will hold 31 sittings. The 7th Conference of Commonwealth Parliamentary Association India region will begin today at the Legislative Assembly building in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla will formally inaugurate the conference. Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman Harivansh, UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and Madhya Pradesh Governor Lalji Tandon will also participate in the conference.
हमारा सौभाग्य है कि उत्तर प्रदेश को इस प्रकार का अवसर कॉमनवेल्थ पार्लियामेंट्री एसोसिएशन की बैठक का अवसर पहली बार मिला है। इसके पहले उत्तर प्रदेश में पीठासीन अधिकारियों के सम्मेलन हुए हैं। उत्तर सती समारोह भी हुआ है। पहले भी अनेक कार्यक्रम हुए हैं, पर अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संस्था के रूप में कॉमनवेल्थ पार्लियामेंट्री एसोसिएशन का यह आयोजन उत्तर प्रदेश विधानसभा को सौंपा गया है। मैं इसके लिए इंडिया रीजन के कॉमनवेल्थ पार्लियामेंट्री संगठन के अध्यक्ष और भारत की लोकसभा के अध्यक्ष माननीय श्री ओम बिरला जी के प्रति अनुग्रहित भी हूं कि उन्होंने उत्तर प्रदेश को यह अवसर दिया।
The main theme of the two-day conference is role of legislators, and there would be 2 plenary sessions, one on each day. Governor Anandiben Patel will address the valedictory session on Friday. Om Birla will brief the media about the outcome of the conference on 17 January after the closing ceremony.
इस सम्मेलन का मुख्य विषय रोल ऑफ लेजिस्लेटर्स, जिसे अपनी भाषा में कहेंगे जनप्रतिनिधियों की भूमिका, ये थीम है इस सम्मेलन की। ये हमारे जनप्रतिनिधि, विधायक, सांसद, उनकी भूमिका को और विस्तृत करना और लोकोपयोगी बनाना और प्रभावी बनाना, यह इसकी थीम है सम्मेलन की।
Around 100 delegates, including speakers and deputy speakers of 15 state assemblies, are attending this conference. 2 foreign delegates and observers and 1 from Australia and another from Malaysia will also attend the conference. Ministerial-level delegates from 12 countries called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday on the sidelines of RSTV dialogue. Foreign ministers of Latvia, Uzbekistan, Hungary, Czech Republic, Maldives, Estonia, South Africa, Denmark, Afghan NSA, Information Minister from Bangladesh and SGs of the Commonwealth and SCO met PM Modi at his residence. PM Modi welcomed the leaders to India and appreciated their participation at RSTV Dialogue 2020. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday met Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif separately. In his meeting with the Iranian Foreign Minister, Prime Minister Modi discussed the situation in the Gulf. They also discussed bilateral relations. Prime Minister Modi reiterated his commitment to enhancing ties with Iran. Prime Minister Modi and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov also reviewed bilateral cooperation between the two countries. Lavrov also apprised the Russian Prime Minister's stand on important global and regional issues. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also met other visiting foreign ministers who are taking part in RSTV dialogue, along with NSA of Afghanistan, Hamdullah Mohib. Government has clarified that no documents will be asked or biometric taken for National Population Register. The Home Ministry on Wednesday clarified that no person needs to submit any documents during the house-to-house survey for updating the NPR, and that information provided by individuals would be accepted and recorded. Through a series of tweets, the ministry sought to deny a media report and said a form carrying questions as part of the NPR exercise will be finalized soon, and that no papers will be asked and no biometrics will be taken during the exercise. The objective of the NPR is to create a comprehensive identity database of every usual resident in the country. Home Minister Amit Shah on Wednesday laid the foundation stone for the Indian Institute of Skills in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Shah called skill development of the country's youth the top priority of the government. He also called the Skill India program a solution to the country's unemployment problem in the coming days.
देश में परिवर्तन हुआ, नरेंद्र भाई देश के प्रधानमंत्री बने और प्रधानमंत्री बनने के बाद सबसे पहला काम उन्होंने स्किल डेवलपमेंट के लिए एक अलग विभाग बनाकर, एक नया विभाग की रचना कर भारत सरकार में इसको द्रुत गति से स्पीड के साथ आगे ले जाने की शुरुआत की। इस स्किल इंडिया का कार्यक्रम आने वाले दिनों के अंदर देश की रोजगारी का समाधान का एक राजमार्ग बनने वाला है, जो नरेंद्र मोदी ये रास्ता ही हमें युवा को रोजगार की दिशा में आगे ले जाएगा।
The minister also expressed confidence that India will become a $5 trillion economy by 2024, terming it an achievable target.
70 साल की आजादी के बाद के 70 साल तक इस देश की इकोनॉमी को अब $2 ट्रिलियन तक लेके $2 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी बनाया और नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने $2 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी को एक 5 साल के अंदर $3 ट्रिलियन की बनाने का काम। एक और 70 साल में $2 ट्रिलियन की इंडस्ट्री बनी, हमारी इकोनॉमी बनी और एक 5 साल के अंदर इसके अंदर 50% का इजाफा कर $3 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी बनी। और आज मैं फिर से एक बार इतने सारे युवाओं के बीच में इस मंच से कहना चाहता हूं कि 2024 में हम $5 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी बनकर देश दुनिया के सबसे बड़े अर्थतंत्र के बीच में हैं।
As many as 36 members of the Union Council of Ministers will visit Jammu and Kashmir from January 18th to January 24th in order to spread words about the government's policies, particularly those taken in the last 5 months after the abrogation of Article 370. Home Minister Amit Shah has taken the initiative to make the citizens of both the UTs aware about the government policies. Minister of State for Home G. Kishan Reddy has written a letter to Jammu and Kashmir Chief Secretary BVR Subramaniam informing him about the scheduled visits. The ministers will visit different districts in both the UTs between January 18th and January 24th. There will be 51 visits to Jammu and 8 to Srinagar. Union Minister Smriti Irani will visit Katra and Panthal areas in Riyashi district on January 19th, while Piyush Goyal will be in Srinagar. Yet another attempt by China to internationalize the issue of Kashmir at the behest of its ally Pakistan failed miserably at the United Nations on Wednesday. Most members of the top world body said it was not the place to discuss the issue. Pakistan's all-weather ally China made a fresh pitch to raise the Kashmir issue under other matters during closed consultations in the Security Council consultations room. However, most members said the issue should be resolved bilaterally and it was a domestic affair. After the meet, India's permanent representative to the UN, Saeed Akbaruddin, said, "We are happy that neither alarmist scenario painted by the representatives of Pakistan nor any of the baseless allegations made repeatedly by representatives of Pakistan in the UN were found to be credible." He tweeted today at UN, "Our flag is flying high. Those that launched a false flag effort got a stinging response from our many friends."
The outcome of the consultations is on expected lines. We are happy that neither the alarmist scenario painted by the representatives of Pakistan nor any of the baseless allegations made repeatedly by various representatives of Pakistan in UN fora were found to be credible. We are glad that it was pointed out by many friends that bilateral mechanisms are available to raise and address issues that Pakistan may have in its ties with India. Pakistan's practice of using false pretenses to distract from addressing the malaise that afflicts it has run its course today. We hope that going forward, Pakistan pays heed to the clear signals sent out today and focuses on the hard task it has to address to ensure normal relations with India.
The 4 astronauts shortlisted for the Gaganyaan project, India's first manned space mission, will receive training in Russia for 11 months. In a statement, Union Minister Jitendra Singh said that training in Russia will start from the 3rd week of January. The statement read, "After 11 months of training in Russia, the astronauts will receive module-specific training in India." The rupees 10,000 crore ambitious project is expected to be launched in 2022. Niti Aayog Vice Chairman Rajiv Kumar has said that the economy will soon reach a better position. Speaking at the book release of former SEBI Chairman UK Sinha, Kumar added, "The government is likely to take more measures to deal with the problem of financial sector."
As I said, we need to understand, we need to get the diagnosis right. And once we got the diagnosis right, I think there is enough political willpower and there is enough executive firepower for this country to get its act together. And it will happen, and then we will get, I was expecting and I am still expecting these 5 years to be, to build on the foundations of the last 5 years, and I think this is waiting to happen.
With this, we'll halt in for a quick breather, but we'll be back soon. Stay tuned with us.
BS6 or Bharat Stage 6 is the new emission standard that all vehicles in the country will have to adhere to from April 1st, 2020.
BS6 fuel and the vehicles, irrespective of the usage, must come to the country because country cannot afford this polluting atmosphere.
You are aligning 3 things. You are aligning production, you are aligning the vendor base, and you are aligning the oil companies. And then the 4th part, which is very important, is customer education. I still believe there are a lot of misconceptions.
Both the refineries have to work for better quality fuel. The automobile companies have to work for new technology. So therefore, both have to be ready. Then only we can have cleaner, atmosphere.
Welcome back. You're still with us on Breakfast News. At least 40 passengers were reportedly injured this morning when the Mumbai-Bhubaneswar Lokmanya Tilak Terminus Express derailed near Nargundi railway station in Cuttack, Odisha. The mishap occurred at around 7 a.m. About 8 coaches of the Superfast Express derailed after hitting a guard van of a goods train between Salagaon and Nargundi, possibly due to dense fog. While 5 coaches derailed, 3 other coaches partially displaced from the tracks. Fire services personnel and ambulances have reached the spot to carry out the rescue operation. The injured passengers are being shifted to SCB Medical College and Hospital. India Meteorological Department celebrated its 145th Foundation Day on Wednesday. Addressing the gathering, Dr. M. Rajivan, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences and India's weather forecast system has improved significantly due to investments by IMD in observation systems related to forecasting. Rajivan informed that the Met Department is using the latest technology, radars and computers at weather forecast centers to disseminate more accurate data.
Mainly because we invested in 2-3 items. One is improving observational systems and improving models. We have adopted models from US and UK, but then we have fine-tuned it for our own region. And a lot of data is going into the models now. And we have acquired a very big computer. So because computer is very important for running models. And so we are able to run the model at very high resolution and compared to other countries. And also we invested in training our people, IMD people. We have sent a lot of people abroad for training, and they got experience and came back and did a lot of good work for us. So IMD is on the right track. And okay, next few years, if this momentum is kept or if we can oscillate further, IMD will do a much better job for the country.
And now let's talk about environment and climate change. In order to combat the 6th mass extinction in Earth's history, a proposal by UN sets 2030 as a deadline for conservation and restoration of ecosystems and wildlife that perform crucial services for humans. The draft by the UN Convention on Biological Diversity is expected to be adopted by governments in October at a UN summit in Kunming, China. Calling for commitment to protect at least 30% of the planet, the 20-point draft plan, which is based on the lines of 2015 Paris Agreement, aims to introduce controls on invasive species and reduce pollution from plastic waste and excess nutrients by 50%. It also aims to promote full and effective participation of indigenous peoples and local communities in decision-making about biodiversity. The planned agreement forms part of a long-term international framework that aims to ensure biodiversity is sustainably valued and conserved by 2050. The Finance Ministry today said that more than 27,000 health and wellness centers are operational as on December 31st, 2019. In a Twitter message, the ministry added that during the budget session 2017-18, the government had promised to establish 150,000 health and wellness centers under Ayushman Bharat by 2022. The US and China have signed an agreement aimed at easing their trade war. At a signing ceremony in Washington, US President Trump said the deal sets the stage for a stronger relationship between the US and China. He added the pact would be transformative for the US economy. Chinese leaders called it a win-win deal that would help foster better relations between the two countries. According to the deal, China has pledged to boost US imports by $200 billion above 2017 levels and strengthen intellectual property rules. In exchange, the US has agreed to halve some of the new tariffs it has imposed on Chinese products. However, the majority of the border taxes remain in place. The US and China have engaged in a tit-for-tat tariff war since 2018.
Today we take a momentous step, one that has never been taken before with China, toward a future of fair and reciprocal trade as we sign phase one of the historic trade deal between the United States and China.
The US House of Representatives on Wednesday formally handed off 2 articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump to the Senate, clearing the way for a trial. The House passed a resolution to submit articles of impeachment that passed largely along party lines by 228 votes to 193. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi signed copies of the articles alongside the team of Democratic lawmakers who will prosecute the case against Trump. The House of Representatives impeached Trump on December 18th for abuse of power related to his efforts to get Ukraine to launch an investigation into his political rival, former Vice President Joe Biden, and obstruction of Congress for his refusal to participate in the impeachment inquiry. Trump has denied any wrongdoing. The Senate, controlled by Trump's Republican Party, will decide whether to convict or remove him from office. Russian President Vladimir Putin has named Tax Service Chief Mikhail Mishustin as Russia's new Prime Minister. This after the Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev submitted his resignation to President Vladimir Putin on Wednesday. Russian President asked Medvedev's cabinet to keep working until the new cabinet is formed. And with this, it's a wrap on this edition of Breakfast News. Thank you so much for joining us.